Are you ready, guys? It's time. Big clash incoming. Let's get right into this. No stalling at all before launch. The police vehicles all stopped at their respective positions according to Tomoe's orders, with their sirens turned off. Tomoe's group was parked in front of the central gate. Hayami quietly approached the staff member at the gate and held out his police badge, and then the iron gate gently slid open. After Sami's report, the radio went quiet and the surrounding area was silent. And then... Charge! Fuck you! Plays the sirens. On that shout, all the sirens began roaring all at once, and their flashing lights dyed the entire area in bright red. Immediately after that, the riot vehicles under Hayami's command began rushing the base all at once. Yep. Where's Hanada? That's all I want to see, man. Him getting taken down by Tomoe. Just as Yamashiro was surprised by a guardsman rushing in with urgent news, that same moment a sound roared out like a bomb exploding. Immediately after that, several windows were blown to pieces, and the room was filled with white smoke. Oh, they're getting fucking smoke bombed. Holy. Rip bozos. The pungent odor sent severe pain running through his nose, and tears began overflowing from his eyes non-stop. Everyone working inside had the same exact reaction, and many of them couldn't resist the urge to get out, so they rushed to the door and opened it. Right into their arms. It was a trap. Oh, holy. Wait, what are they shooting them with? I thought they didn't bring any guns. Maybe like air pellet guns? Yamashiro shouted at them to stop, but countless shots rang out faster than they could respond, and some people fell to the ground after getting hit in their limbs. Maybe the other squads that joined in midway brought guns. The people who had been shot were writhing about in agony, but apparently nobody among them was mortally wounded. Dude, I like how they're just guns blazing. No questions asked, let's go. Yeah, these were likely rubber bullets used in riot control. That's what I was thinking. I said air pellets, but they use rubber, right? Rubber's harder, I think, actually. As a former self-defense officer, Yamashiro was the only one who realized that meant the riot police were here. I mean, these guys are done. We just need to catch Hanada. That's all I care about, honestly. But I can't believe this is this easy, man. I feel like they actually over-prepared. They thought they were gonna be, like, armed and shit. I mean, they probably are, but they're just getting owned. Take the Joe Takayashiki. Jeez, it's metal. Imagine like your whole big multi-million-dollar operation going down and they're just memeing on you through a speaker or whatever you call it. Yamashiro and his henchmen could hear this communication exchange through the loudspeaker. One man was so beside himself with rage that he began screaming and started to dash outside, but within a few steps he was hit by a sniper fire and fell to the ground. Well, you guys are not getting out of this. Yamashiro screamed hard, trying to inspire his men. But these weren't battle-hardened Yakuza with experience in gunfights, they were just small-time thugs. They had no chance in a fair fight. It was impossible. Without a warrant, like, you know, we were sweating beforehand, but when the guy came with, hey, I got you guys awards, it's GG, man. Blast him. Another round of shots spread out as if to answer to his abusive words. An outlaw cursing the police for acting outside the law? Yeah, Mashiro himself probably didn't realize the humorous contradiction there. It's so Jover. At least go out with some honor. Those are real bullets. They should probably be careful though.
連中素人だな。明かりのあるところから闇に向かって撃ったところで当たるかっての。ともあれ、これで正当防衛成立だ。
Exactly.
制圧レベルを AA に昇格。
They're just taking it easy now that they're actually firing at them. They can go hard.
建物内の連中にも隙があれば狙撃を行え。了解しました。しかし、速水さんも悪人ですね。
Nah, it's based. Honestly, you know, the topic of tops can be a little iffy, but these guys are literally like some of the worst people ever, so fuck them, man. These guys are actual scumbags. Ruined Rena's life. I'm pretty, like, I wonder what Rena's childhood would be like. She might have just been chilling if they didn't load her with that medication, man. Fuck these guys.
あれで連中かなり動揺したと思いますよ。パチンコじゃねえよ。スリングショットと言えっての。
It was a device with a rubber band stretched across a Y-shaped rod, just like kids played with to launch stones. But this device had specialized rubber and was shaped to maximize range, so it would have enough power to take down human foes. Wait, they're really using slingshots? Holy. It was originally sold in another country as a hunting weapon, but Hayami noticed it during overseas training and bought up a large quantity to them to be deployed to his men as an alternative to guns. I mean, that's a good way to get around guns, using a fucking slingshot. What are they trying to complain about? You can't use a slingshot on me, it's police cruelty.
しかしよくこんな武器見つけてきましたね。最初はみんなおもちゃ扱いでバカにしてましたけど、大した威力です。ああ、お前たちも辛抱してよく付き合ってくれたよ。おかげでこうして実践の役に立っている。
Even as they chatted, one of the armed criminals in the warehouse moaned and collapsed on the spot after receiving a lead projectile to the face. The enemies immediately began focusing their gunfire toward the source of the gunshot sound, but the officers anticipated that and slipped behind the Duralim shields to easily escape harm. The firing point and the source of the gunfire sound weren't even the same in the first place, and in the darkness there's hardly any risk of snipers actually hitting them. Yeah, imagine if Tomoe tried to do this alone, she would have probably lost, man, since they are packing real guns. She was just kind of like fisticuff them, man. But we literally have everyone. And hunters. Oh, actually, I don't know that.
それが現実無視だ。凶悪犯に対抗できないってのは簡単だが、それでも俺たちは奴らと戦わなきゃいけないんだ。だから俺は俺なりにそれに代わる対抗手段を編み出しただけさ。それが間違ってるか？いいえ、全然。まして姫さんのためにも批判の種は避けておかんとな。
Ooh, yeah, and it's hard to criticize cops using literal slingshots, man. And it is safer than guns, for sure. Hayami was very calculating with his concerns, understanding that even MIT was prohibited from using live ammunition against armed criminals. That seems weird, though. I mean, obviously, it's different in Canada and the USA, especially the USA, but, like, I know it's, again, the whole police thing is a very topical conversation in general, but, like, I feel like if it should be like agreed that if a person's literally shooting you with real bullets with the intent to kill, I feel like you should be able to shoot them back. I don't know if that's a hot take. Like I feel like if there's any time where you should be able to shoot someone is if they're trying to kill you with like bullets too, like with an actual other gun. I don't know. This bluff would probably come undone in a prolonged battle, but let's trust that bridge when the time comes.
とにかく無茶だけはさせるなよ。一家の連中にもしっかりそれだけは伝えておけ。わかりました。
After that brisk reply, his subordinates quickly bowed then left. After seeing them off, Hayami gently gazed at the dials of his glow and the dark wristwatch.
頼みましたよ。堂島さん、山村さん。それに
Tomoe. I forgot who's with who, honestly. Hada. When Deputy Chief Hada headed... Oh, these are the guys, the top brass. That's who he is, like, talking about to, make sure the police guys don't get interrupted or in trouble. When Deputy Chief Hara headed into the chief's office with Okabe, he found Yamamura and Dojima already in the room, sitting across from each other playing a game of shogi.
Ote.
Don't talk block us with this man. He glared at Yamamura with his fangs exposed and a look clearly saying, "That's not what I'm asking." What a stubborn old man. Plus, he couldn't be cajoled because he wasn't one to get swayed by money or emotions, and he was far too popular to effectively get rid of him. Excuse me. Still allergies, but better than last episode.
いやー、羨ましいですね。今まで全然女っ気のない堅物だったのに、あれだけの若い子をゲットするなんて。
A very young girl.
意外に所長、若かったんですね。
まったくだ。あんな若い嫁さんもらったりしたら、俺だと仕事放り投げちまうね。
Alright, guys, chill, chill. Don't be too weird.
これで返すかな。
おお、ならば私はふざけるな。
This Hada guy, man, needs to take that chill pill. Unable to endure it any longer, Hada screamed and slammed the handkerchief he was holding down on the shogi board. He ruined the game? Countless pieces scattered across the floor, but Yamamura and Dojima didn't look particularly surprised. In fact, they calmly turned to face Hada, who was looking rather flustered. What's wrong, bro? This is why you're not invited to the cool club, Hada.
ああ、心配はいりませんよ。うちの速水と吉川をサポートにつけていますから、万が一にも打ち負けることはありません。なんならついでにうちの捜査一課の連中も。
Honestly, the more the merrier.
バカを言うな。自衛隊の基地施設内で銃撃戦なんて、奴ら頭でもおかしくなったのか?
Listen, all my homies hate the SDF. Why be scared, bro? They get manipulated so easily, man. Look at the Hinamizawa massacre, which hasn't happened yet. But honestly, fuck the SDF in this verse. I have nothing against the real life SDF in Japan.
トリプル役満ですな。いや、厚生省も入るとクワドラプルでしたっけ？
分かってて、君たちはなんで止めない？ これは責任問題だぞ。
This guy. I know, I feel the same, man. Just get out of here. Why are you interrupting the exciting infiltration mission, man? Get out of here, Hada. As Hada continued shouting more and more, Yamamura and Dojima looked at one another for a moment, then sighed and turned away from Hada to pick up the scattered shogi pieces. It was abundantly clear why HR back at headquarters decided against promoting Hada to chief of Kikuchi Station when the opportunity came up. Bro is way too worried about reputation, zero backbone. Like, come on, man. This man was focused first and foremost on preserving his own position. If he was in a position of responsibility and first heard about this uproar, finding out what the investigation was all about should have been his top priority. Yeah, he's the meh type of police. With that in mind, Dojima gave Yamamura a signal, probably picking up on his intentions. Yamamura shook his head and shrugged his shoulders. Bro's losing it.
君たちはどう考えているんだ。何人かの首を切っただけでは済まんのだぞ。それこそ所長自ら。
ああ、責任ならほら、そこに。よく見てください。
Oh, imagine if they used like his what's it called? His stamp, his signing stamp. That'd be so funny. That's what they did, didn't they? Hada's eyes opened wide as soon as he saw what Yamamura was pointing at. Didn't they get a search warrant though? Though it was from Dojima, right? It wasn't from like the top, or was it from? I don't know. We'll see. Oh! Never mind, they're going out like real G's. It was 2 official notices of resignation from Yamamura and Yamokai. Holy gigachads. See, these are the good policemen, because they're literally like, yo, we're all in for justice. You want to fire me after this? You know what? Fine. I'm out of here. I'm out of here, but as long as we can get the bad guys. Like, holy. Now that's a flex. And Dojima. They're all gone, man. All for the big bust. You would never understand, Hada. It's what separates you from them. I'm hoping that at least, like, after seeing this resolved by them, he won't, like, try to, like, stop us. He'd be like, alright, I'm not involved, but I'm not gonna stop you guys, because, yeah, hopefully. Light a fire in his heart, man.
この状況下でそう言ってるあんたに何を言ってもわからないでしょう。そう。あんたには絶対わからないことです。
Upon witnessing that quiet but dignified strength up close, Hada couldn't help but swallow his spit. The weaker the dog, the louder their bark. Chihuahua. Hada was certainly older than Dojima, but the man who greeted him as the section chief of an investigation division at the professional police when Hada was first promoted to deputy chief was of an entirely different order than him. No, they were completely incomparable. Hada always expected people to listen to him because of his title and seniority, so the two of them could never see eye to eye. Nah, Okabe's base too, man. It's all older. Oh, what happened? Without any hesitation. Oh my god. Holy, it's actually the last stand. Okabe had been silent since they entered the room, but he crossed in front of Hada, then took a letter out of his pocket and gently placed it beside the other 2 letters of resignation. I don't have to do a lot of restructuring after this, man. All the top dogs are leaving. Right on the cover of the page was the word resignation written in meticulous calligraphy. Bro's losing its subordinate.
私はあの小娘が嫌いでした。
I do appreciate the Okabe arc.
あの行動力とあの頭の回
He
転
was a
の
real
速
ass
さ、
at first, but
そして
he's
呆
become
れるほ
based.
どにしぶとい根性。それを見せつけられるのがとにかく脅威で不快で、嫉妬さえ感じるものだった。だから間違いなく数年後には私の上になって偉そうな顔をされると考えただけで、なんとも自分が惨めなやつに思えてならなかったのですよ。
And that was why Okabe always harbored a sense of animosity towards Tomoe. He was upset to learn of her success and pleased to hear of her failures. But he had finally noticed the ungrateful pettiness of his heart. Looking back, though it was far too late, he finally realized his own mistake.
正直うんざりしてきたんです。私はなんでこんな嫌な人間をやっているのだろうと。たかだか地方の所轄署の一課長のポストのために私は警察官を志したわけではなかったんですがね。何を言ってるんだ。
Yes, it wasn't long ago. Okabe suddenly remembered the conversation he accidentally overheard in front of the police station when Tomoe addressed the detectives of the First Division. He once had a detective spirit like that too. He was there, listening to the Giga speech. There was certainly a time he felt passionate about catching the bad guys and helping the good guys. And when he noticed that Asumi and the other folks in the Second Division had really come alive recently and regained their hearts, gotta follow suit.
彼女はどんなに偉くなっても今日のことで私には頭が上がらなくなるでしょう。
Tomoe has like plus 100 morale, man. She's certifying literally everyone, man. It's crazy. She started her own police revolution.
私としてはそれで十分満足なんですよ。
As he said that, Okabe's face had a thoroughly furrowed brow up until a moment ago, but now he had a refreshing smile on his face as though freed from whatever possessed him. For such a long time, he had been truly sullen and unsatisfied. Bowing down to a boss he hated just to protect his current position, sometimes even reluctantly engaging in behavior he knew was wrong. And at the same time, he felt both envy and animosity towards this young elite who was always energetic and believed in justice from the bottom of her heart. But he felt disgusted with himself for having such a servile attitude.
だが、これでいい。これで少しは私の肩の荷が下りました。あとは若い連中で思う存分やってみるといい。話にならん。こうなったら本庁に掛け合って連中の愚行。
Bro is not leaving, but I gotta give it to Hada. I do like his voice actor. He is kind of popping off right now. It literally sounds like someone from a Yakuza movie. I love it. Before he even realized it, Yamamura and Dojima had moved the sofa in front of the door and sat down on it facing Hada. They definitely had smiles on their faces, but there was a strange glint in their eyes as they stared straight at him.
まあまあ、副所長。せっかくだから付き合ってくださいよ。
Say some shogi,
ど
bro.
うせあと数日のことだ。今まで散々いい思いをしてきたんだから、十分。
警察官はバカなくらいがちょうどいい。あの若い連中のようにな。
Holy. Alright, back to the action.
おい、犯人ども、早く降伏した方がいいぞ。さもないと次はその建物に門を打ち込むぞ。
I know they do that. I watched a movie when Japan was having its little communist revolution by the university students, and there's like that big final siege. I actually watched 2 different movies based on that. But like partway through, they bring a fucking wrecking ball, just start like they're holed up in like a house with with like 3 hostages, like a family. And they just bring a wrecking ball and start destroying the house and just blasting them with water hoses. It's pretty Giga Chad, honestly. Yo, actual callback. The siege strats go crazy. I wonder if they ever did that in like the US or Canada. I don't know if we've ever had like a digital siege. I mean, like actually there have been in the US, but I don't know if they've ever brought a wrecking ball though. Jesus. This is psychological torture for them. Actually. Where's Hanada, man? They didn't, like, get someone to go wake him up? He's probably trying to escape, honestly. Yamashiro hurled expletives as he gazed out the window, while rubbing his eyes and his nose, which were now bright red from the tear gas. Detectives have already entered the premises, so they could be clearly seen. Meanwhile, they had limited weapons at their disposal to return fire, and they were running low on ammunition. Even if they rushed out all at once, they'd be able to take a few of them down, but there'd be no chance of escape. Crime never pays, unless it does, but not for you. He clung to his head and clenched his teeth so tight they were about to shatter. It wasn't supposed to be like this, man. The secretary told him there's nothing to worry about because this deal was backed by a senator, and the raid should have been impossible because the deal was happening on SDF ground. Sorry, Nomura. I mean, good preparation. Gotta respect the prep, but even Nomura takes L's. That's why a man as risk-averse as Yamashiro is willing to take this job. Didn't expect the Tomoe buff to hit the whole police force. Yamashiro cursing out his employer while frantically looking around for an escape route. At any rate, now is the time to either run or hide. As long as he could do that, Shiba and the secretary could use their powers to secure a hiding place for him, and maybe help him escape to a foreign country like they did for Hanada. But where could he run to? Hey, you're not welcome in Canada, that's all I'm saying. There were detectives ready and waiting at every exit. Even if he left through a window, it would all end the same. And even if he could get up to the roof, there's no escape route because he'd have to come back down to the ground eventually. In which case, all that was left was... through the sewers, like the rat you are. Upon hearing that order, the grunts who were feeling desperate and defeated suddenly gained a little light in their eyes. You heard that Kakuchi Airport has an elaborate drainage system since the facility performs double duty as an SDF base. Honestly though, even if he is right, I'm sure Tomoe has that covered since she did say she knows like every nook and cranny of the place. And like literally simulated battles in here, so... By going through the sewers, they might be able to escape the facility without being noticed by the surrounding investigators. When the young man's bouncy voice echoed from the corner of the room, Yamashiro rushed over there and knocked him in the face to silence him. If the people outside had heard that, it would all be for nothing. After removing the manhole, he did see an escape route open up beneath the surface. He once read an article that said Kakuchi's airport sewer Kakuchi Airport sewer system spread out over a wide, complicated area. Yamashiro rubbed his nose while ordered some of the remaining men to remove the iron grate blocking the exit and descend the old ladder. And then everyone stepped into the footpath inside the sewer system, but just then. Jump scare? What just happened? Was that an
第3班
explosion?
から報告。確
Oh
保
no.
完了とのこと。
They got
気
him.
を抜くなよ。まだ別のルートから逃げ出した奴がいるかもしれん。第1班と第2班からの連絡は？
I was wondering what's up with them.
第1班より裏口から侵入の際に隊員1名が格闘の末に負傷。命には別状なし。部屋の隅でガスから逃れていた3名を確保したとのことです。正面から突入した第2班は犯人グループと遭遇なし。代わりにカプセル薬の入った段ボール箱を大量に押収したそうです。
そうか。
Hayami lit a cigarette and took a breath. They had to rush to take measures according to Tomoe's advice, but it seems they managed to get it done. If they hadn't noticed it and taken precautions in advance, the criminals might have been able to not just escape out the back, but potentially do some unexpected damage too. He couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat just imagining it.
しかし、まさか地下の下水道を使った逃走ルートに気づくとは。
Tomoe's playing 10D chess right now. He can't outsmart her.
あの
Unless you're
姫さん、
Hanada, maybe. He's
対
kind
テロ
of
戦でもやったことがあるのか？
なんでも地下に逃げ道を作っているって家の話を少し前に聞いて、それでふと思ったって言ってました。
I was trying to say Umineko reference, but I don't actually remember if there's a secret escape route in the basement.
大したものです。いっそ広報室をクビになったら、うちの機捜の顧問にでもして講義でもやってもらえますか。
アホ。あの子はもっと上に行かなきゃいけねえんだ。こんな地方で足踏みさせて、能力腐らせてたまるかっての。
Gotta go to the top.
ですね。なるべくなら無傷で戻してやりたいものです。
Hearing his subordinate talking over the radio, Hayami responded, "Yeah." The police force is also part of the political landscape. You have to bend yourself a certain way in order to rise in the ranks, and avoid sticking your neck out in dangerous situations that could tarnish your reputation. That's why elites often look to their superiors for support, and try to keep their subordinates under control so they don't cause problems. But sometimes things go wrong, and a fool with true ideals and beliefs will emerge, and that fool is Tomoe. Someone so serious about fighting crime that they'll even force work on their superiors to get it done, and someone capable of organizing analog information just from their knowledge alone. A person like that invoked expectations even beyond their ability. That's why we have to set aside our emotions to protect people like that. By doing that, he can get a breath of fresh air and believe that the situation will improve. That was why Hayami and his men were supporting Tomoe.
あのプライドの塊の前のが、ぜひにもと言って頭を下げてきたんだ。
Holy based
なん
minor.
とかするさ。俺たちもそれに応えてやろうぜ。
She's our hope.
もちろん
A
です。
shining hope.
たまには
The chosen one. Tomoe the chosen one.
ですからね。
Bow down to her.
まったくだ。
Rika wishes she had this amount of pull. After saying that, Hayami stomped out a cigarette and ordered his subordinates to head into the warehouse. Then, after seeing them off, he turned around and rushed to the scene where investigators were detaining suspects arrested in the sewer. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, Hanada. Drenched in mud and sweat, Hanada ran down the runway in the direction of the transport aircraft should be parked. The moment he heard that explosion, he knew it was tear gas, so Hanada quickly rushed into the bathroom and jumped out the window to escape from the warehouse as soon as possible. Smart, smart. Sorry, buddy. At least he escaped the siege. Based on all the information he gathered and all the time he spent inside the police station, he was sure he had a handle on their habits and thought processes. Yeah, but you can't predict spur of the moment assault charge. So he was secretly relieved because he was certain they'd never been able to overcome the friction necessary to enter an SDF base. And yet, how? They were desperately rampaging through the base, engaging in a firefight like something out of a country beset by raging civil war. It's like the parable about stepping on a sleeping cat's tail, only to learn it was actually a tiger. If things stay as they are, the situation will only get worse and worse. But where could he run to? The investigators were going in boldly, so they almost certainly had staff inside the terminal building too. Nothing good would come from heading there. That being said, this was an airfield, so the surrounding area had high visibility and not a lot of places to hide. Honestly, I have no idea. Can you like hide in like an aircraft compartment? I mean, if he stalls, then like it's possible like they might be told off, but I don't know, man. And if he was arrested, it would all be over. Just the charges that were made public would be enough to land him a heavy sentence, but if things went particularly poorly, he could even be facing the death penalty. That moment, Hanada caught a glimpse of a warehouse where the transport plane was being refueled. Fortunately, the plane was scheduled to depart soon, so the engine should still be warm. If that's the case, then is my bro is he gonna hijack the plane? Oh, honestly, did the Chad move too? I respect it. The only way left to escape from this predicament was abandoning Japan itself. With that resolution in his heart, Hanada resumed rushing toward the plane. He had no time to waste being hesitant. I like it. Honestly, he's a good villain. Oh, they don't have a track on him. Honestly, I was expecting Tomoe to just like appear from the shadows and like catch him, but it's actually working, man. That is not Hanada. Investigators scattered to search all four corners of the terminal building, without leaving anything unsearched or any opportunities to escape, and were exchanging detailed information over the radios. But they still hadn't located their primary target, Hanada. The airport staff was sure he hadn't taken off yet, so the investigators were frantically searching to see if there was another way out. Yoshikawa clipped his tongue while quickly scanning his surroundings. According to the men Hayama and his colleagues arrested in the warehouse, Hanada was at the warehouse just a little while ago talking to their boss Yamashiro. So at the very least, he was still in the grounds of this airport. But where the hell could he be? Where's Tomoe at, man? Oh no. Did she catch the scent? Oh shit, when Hayami's son's shout came over the radio, Yoshikawa rushed out the building and turned toward the runway. And then... I mean, to be fair, you wouldn't really expect someone to try to rush and hijack a plane. It is kind of insane. Whoa, wait, he got in. You saw a plane emerge from the distant hangar and slowly turn toward the runway. Holy. And as proof of what it was, the illuminated tail fin bore the character's logo of Central Airlines. Based on the information they already had, it would be easy to infer this was the transport plane that was carried in the cargo. Bang. Yoshikawa slammed his fist into the chain-link fence in front of him, filled with regret. When they heard that Hanada was heading to Kikuchi Airport, they focused on searching the terminal building. but neglected that the airport also coexisted with the SDF base. If only they realized that. Shit. They're not. There's no pilot there. It's Hanada, bro. Unless you can like blot the runway. Yeah, do something, bro. We have nothing. Start shooting it with slingshots. Just then, a single police car broke through the chain link fence just a short distance away from Yoshikawa and his men, barreling down the runway at a tremendous speed. Who is that? I mean, who else? Who is driving that thing? No way. It can't be her. Our hope. Our savior. Hit me with the CG. We got a thumbnail, baby. Let's go. Look at it. Furiously driving Tomoe. Their crowd spread across the windshield like a spider web, probably damaged while breaking through the chain link fence. She caught the scent. The roar of the engine echoed all throughout the car, and it was flying forward at incredible speed, with the accelerator pushed to the limit. The surrounding scenery is flying backwards at blinding speed, and the G-forces pushing her back against the seat were strong enough to violently shake her body, and even her heart. And right before Tomoe's eyes, we got the freaking song. Oh, shit. She could hear the sound of the jet engines, and she could clearly see the plane was just about to start accelerating for takeoff. Tomoe crossed the runway, then turned the wheel to steer her car directly in front of the transport plane. She figured chasing the plane from the side and trying to hit the landing gear would be too difficult an approach. But no, because of that, she decided that she shouldn't bother chasing the plane, and instead should directly attack it from the front. Was charging a plane. Playing chicken? Or just going for the full-on crash? The sorrowful screams of Fujita and the others came bursting out of the radio so intensely that the speakers were about to pop off and echoed throughout the car. But she couldn't stop. There's no way she would. The jet was now in takeoff posture and approaching at tremendous speed. Even with the windows closed, her eardrums and the inside of her head were violently shaking with the sound, or shaking from the sound like a roaring beast. Nevertheless, her eyes remained fixated on the single point straight ahead. She had a clear view of the wheel under the left wing. He robbed her of her mother and father, who she loved and deeply respected. He scarred her sister with wounds that would last a lifetime, cursed her too many years of hatred and resentment. He brutally destroyed her precious treasure, her happy world. No matter how many times she killed him, it wouldn't be enough. Right now, the unshaken resolve pushing her to step down on the accelerator was for something more important. Yes, the man right before her, who was ridiculing her as he tried to fly away right now, was an enemy of Tomoe, her father, and the entire police force. He bent the law to wield power for personal gain. He abused a just cause and did something terrible. He was an affront to justice. He was evil incarnate. He was absolute scum who took the lives of innocent people and even trampled on the blood and tears they shed. I mean, all true. He's definitely up there as top worst people in the Wednesday Triverse. I don't know if I put him at number 1, but he's pretty bad, man. She couldn't forgive him. Not now. Not never. Even if this attack was throwing straws against the wind, the justice the police spoke of must never retreat and never give in. So... 行かせるかどこにも行かせてたまるかお前だけは Oh, animation. Who do you think you are, Mufflove? Dead. Holy! I was actually gonna end it here and say, just hit you with the biggest cliffhanger, but they did it for me. Holy based. What an episode, dude. See, this is why I didn't go all in last night, because I was like, I gotta be in better condition. I need to be awake. I need to be like fully prepped for this, because this episode was crazy. Anyways, guys, this is the end. Next time, we'll see what happened. Is Tomoe dead? Is Hanada dead? We'll see next time on the next episode of Higurashi. Later.